If you're learning a new language, then you need to know this. There are 6 villains who are out to get you. 6 evil villains who will stop at nothing to stop you ever becoming fluent in your new language. And in this video, you're going to meet one of these 6 villains. You're going to learn who they are, what they want from you, and most importantly, how to stop them in their tracks and vanquish them forever. So pay attention, because your language learning success depends on it. My name is Olly Richards, creator of the Story Learning Method. And if you're new to this villain series, you should go back to the beginning and start there, because it's going to make a lot more sense. Now, this villain is very cunning, perhaps the most cunning of all. And you should realize this really, really quickly. Take a look around your living room or your study or wherever you keep your language books. How many books and resources do you see? Well, I can already tell you the answer. The answer is far too many. And you know who's responsible for that? Actually, it's not you. It's the hoarding villain. The hoarding villain is the guy who sits on your shoulder and accompanies you around every single visit to a bookstore, every trip to Amazon, or every blog recommendations page. Whatever language learning book, audio program, app, course, whatever you happen to see, the hoarding villain will invent a reason why you absolutely need to buy that right now. But is this really a problem? Is more language learning resources a bad thing? Because after all, it's also true that, by and large, most resources, most language learning products you buy are kind of useful in one way or another, right? And they might come in handy one day. So what's really wrong with this? Well, this is where the hoarding villain chimes in. Yes, he says, listen to that voice in your head. You need this. Buy it now. So, of course, you whip out your credit card, you do the deed, and before you know it, you have piles and piles of language books taking up your shelf or cluttering up your desktop, or even living virtually in the cloud or whatever it may be. The hoarding villain has succeeded. But how does he get away with it? It's because the hoarding villain knows all too well that when you have all of these resources, it's impossible for you to stay focused. And remember, this is his goal. His goal is to stop you ever learning your new language. So you jump around from one resource to the next, a bit like a butterfly, never really concentrating on any one thing, and certainly never reaching the end of any one book. You just flick happily from one book to the next, bit of this, bit of that, one book today, another one tomorrow, but never really doing the one thing that you need to do in order to make progress, real progress with the language, and that is to knuckle down, focus, and concentrate on one thing at a time. Because focus is the key to learning languages. And that's the genius of the hoarding villain. He knows that getting you to hoard more and more language resources is a guaranteed way to kill your language dreams forever. He's evil and he must be stopped. But stop him you can. And there is one simple change you can make to banish him into the ether forever. Whatever stage of language learning you're at right now, beginner or advanced, there's one thing you could do promptly to improve your language skills. So let's do this together right now. We're going to do this right now, okay? So what I want you to do right now is to take down one language book from your shelf, or one course, whatever it may be. Something that you're currently working on, or one that you feel like is the best fit for you right now. I want you to go ahead and get that. And then I want you to hide everything else. Literally take all your other books, CDs, whatever, put them in a box, seal it shut, whatever it takes. And then that one book or resource that you've chosen, you're simply going to work through it from beginning to end. That's it. And then don't open that box of other stuff until you've reached the end of the book or the course that you've chosen. Because when there is no hoard of books to jump around on, the hoarding villain can't get to you. Nothing you can do, because you've only got one thing that you're allowed to work on. And if you do this, a few magic things are going to happen. You're going to start being focused like a laser. You'll get the full benefit of that one resource that you've chosen. And you'll go much deeper than you would if you were just jumping from one thing to the next. Focus and persistence on one thing. And that is for this reason that I designed the story learning method to be built around a story, because then the job of focusing becomes super easy for you. Your main job is simply to make it to the end of the story, and then the learning takes care of itself. And guess what? You'll probably also personally be a lot happier too, because you'll get rid of all that, that nagging doubt about, oh, what should I work on today? Should I do this or that? Because you already have the answer. You've chosen your one thing. You just crack on without temptation. And I promise you that feeling when you actually reach the end of whatever book you've chosen It is amazing and incredibly motivating. And this is something you can do right now. And I guarantee in the next 30 days, you'll make a huge leap forward in your language learning. Now, have you met the hoarding villain before? Has he got to you in the past? Leave me a comment below and tell me just how bad the hoarding situation is chez toi. And then please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you want to hear more just like this.